Okay, guys, I'm gonna record this from my phone today because I didn't feel like breaking out my laptop and recording and editing and everything. But I want to talk about something that I noticed yesterday when I was at work. So this is gonna be a lot different from my normal videos because normally I don't talk about this subject, but we're gonna talk about it today. So we read all the time online from people that say this generation is growing up to be probably the most disrespectful generation that has ever been, and I can definitely say that I agree with that. But I discovered yesterday why I feel like this has become the reason. So I have stated before that I do work in security, and we do a lot of truck checking, and we get to interact with a lot of the truck drivers. Well, yesterday I was checking out this particular truck, and I called this gentleman sir, because growing up in the 90s, I was taught by my mom that you say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. And when I told him he was good to go, and I said, "You're good to go, sir." And he goes, "Don't call me sir, I work for a living." And I proceeded into my normal spiel, because I hear this quite often from people, that I was raised to respect people, and one way that you respect people is you call your elders sir or ma'am. And he proceeded to tell me this long spiel about where the whole term sir and ma'am got started, and blah blah blah. And it made me realize that just by the words that he was using, that just by me trying to show him an ounce of respect by calling him sir, that he felt I don't know if he felt unintentionally disrespected or if he felt like I offended him in some way. And I think that what we're doing now is we're teaching kids in our generation that using the word sir and ma'am when addressing their elders is disrespectful and rude. And really, for me, like I said, growing up in the 90s, because I was born in 1990, so I feel like growing up in the 90s, it was a lot different. It was seen as disrespectful not to use the word sir and ma'am. I can remember many times growing up as a kid that I would not, sorry guys, I dropped my phone, that I would not say ma'am, yes ma'am, or no ma'am to my mother. And anytime I would, she would be like, yes, what? And I wouldn't say it because I was a rebellious teenager. This was when I got into my teenage years, so early to mid 2000s, is when I would really start not wanting to say it. And I would say that I wasn't a slave, and that's how slaves talked. And I didn't realize back then what I was really saying. I was being highly disrespectful, not only to my mother, but in a way I kind of think that I was being disrespectful to a lot of people in a lot of different ways just by those simple words that I would say. And now that I'm in my late 20s, I've started to realize things that in my teenage years I so much didn't realize. But I realize now that as I got older that my mom really was just out there trying to teach me respect and keep me from growing up to be one of these adults even that are raising these children today with no respect, no manners, like pretty much just walking around being savages, and not in the way that we think now of, savage being a good thing, the bad terminology. And so I feel like we are definitely raising our generation the people that are raising kids now that are my age. I don't have any children yet, but those that are raising kids people my age that are raising kids are raising really disrespectful children. And it's because we're not teaching them these, what I guess you could call traditional values and respect and morals and all these different things that we should be teaching. And it really shows me by that guy's reaction to a simple command of me calling him sir, of how he felt blatantly disrespected, like I was basically insulting him, and that's not what I was trying to do. And to me, it was kind of a shock. I can remember other times being in the store in the last year or so where I've offered to do something nice for somebody. In fact, a particular time I remember, it was about a year ago, I was actually in a local gas station, and I offered, well, I told the woman behind me I wanted to pay for her coffee. And instead of her saying thank you, the first thing out of her mouth was, why? And I got to thinking about it after I explained to her, I just want to do it to be kind. I want to do a random act of kindness for somebody today. So let me pay for your coffee. And, of course, nobody would turn down a free coffee for somebody else to pay for it. So she let me pay for it, and I went about my way. Well, after she responded with that why, I began thinking about, why did she say why? And I realized that random acts of kindness are becoming so rare, and respect is becoming so rare in society, that when a person has respect or a person wants to do a random act of kindness for somebody, it's seen as they want something in return. And for me, when I do a random act of kindness for somebody, it's because I never know if that person behind me is having a bad day, and that one random act of kindness is going to make their day better, or if the mom that's behind me in the car in the drive-thru at McDonald's just ordered $5 of food and she's got 4 kids to try to feed on $5 because that's all the money she's got because she's a single mom. And maybe in that moment when I pay for her food that she's ordered, maybe she can use that $5 to get a little bit more to feed her family. Or the dad who's standing on the street corner begging for money because he just got laid off from his job, but he's still got to feed his kids and he's still got to pay his bills. And we're living in a time where jobs are so hard to come by that they'll take anything. And I will say, I am probably at times the most judgmental person. I have argued 100 times that fast food workers do not need to make $15 an hour just based on the kind of work they do. I think $15 an hour is extreme. Do I think that the minimum wage should be upped, especially in Indiana? Yes, because minimum wage in the state of Indiana is only $7.50. So that's not a lot of money. I mean, if you're a high school kid or, a college student who lives at home with your parents and everything and all your bills are paid for, then that's a lot of money. But somebody like me who lives on her own and has her own bills, $7.50, I couldn't survive on that. Luckily, I make way more than that, but it's just one of those things that, you need to really think about. So I'm going to itch a challenge to the few subscribers that I do have. I want you, for the next how many days are left in 2018, to make a conscious effort to do one random act of kindness for the rest of the year. Just one random act of kindness a day for the rest of the year. Whether it be, like I said, pay for the car behind you's food at McDonald's, or buy that coffee for that elderly gentleman behind you in line, or if your local gas station, which luckily we are very lucky in Indiana, a lot of our local gas stations give free coffee and free beverages to the military and police and firemen and all those that come in while they're in uniform. If your local gas station doesn't offer that, and you see a soldier come in his uniform, pay for his beverage. If a police officer comes in and buys a coffee, pay for his coffee. Because you never know if that cop just came off of a call that he had to try to revive a 3-year-old child and that child didn't survive. Or if that cop just came off a call, where he just found his sister dead because of a car wreck, or his mother, his brother, his own daughter, his own wife, his own son. You never know. Because cops go on these runs and they don't know what they're expecting when they go. They know, okay, car crash. They may not know that car crash victim is their loved one. And it happens. I know cops who have said I have a cop buddy actually, and I hate to tell this story, I'm not going to use his name, but I actually have a cop friend, he's a sheriff, in Indiana, who actually called the coroner on his own dad's suicide. He went to check on his dad, went to do his own personal welfare check on his dad, and found his dad deceased with a gunshot wound to the head. His dad had killed himself, and he found him. So it does happen. It does happen that these cops go on these runs and find out the victim is their own family. And you never know when that's going to happen. Or you never know when the EMT that just came in, and God knows EMTs do not get the respect they deserve. I know where I work, we have a lot of guys who are not only security guards, but they're also firemen, EMTs, and they do get these runs where they may have to go revive their own parent or their own child or their own spouse or whoever it may be to them. And it's sad. Or you never know when they just got a call where the 3-year-old that the cop was trying to save, they had to go pick it up. They tried CPR and the child still didn't make it. Don't ever think that just because you buy a 99-cent coffee for somebody in the gas station that it goes unnoticed. Because the person behind them may see you do it, or they may pay for the person behind them because you paid for theirs. And that can start a chain reaction. And if we want to raise a generation of more respectful, more caring, more loving, more giving kids, it starts with the current generation of adults. Stop saying, "Don't call me sir, I work for a living. Don't call me ma'am, I work for a living." Allow the people that want to respect you and show the same respect to everybody else around you. Because literally, like Michael Jackson said it best when he said, if you want to change the world, it starts with the man in the mirror. We cannot change the world until we change ourselves and the way we think, and the way we act, and the way we respond to things. So the next time someone does a random act of kindness for you, don't ask why they're doing it, because chances are they don't want nothing in return. Typically when I get asked why, or when I do it, I'll tell the cashier, whoever, or if the person, like the woman in the gas station, I'll tell them, the only thing I want in return from you is the next time you have a chance to do a random act of kindness for somebody else, you do it. And that's why I'm issuing you guys a challenge, like I said before. I want all of you to go out and do one random act of kindness a day for the next 365 days a year. Or for the next year. And it doesn't matter if, it's you take a meal to somebody you know sick, or take a meal to the family that just lost a loved one, or the woman that just had the new baby, or things like they used to do in the old days. Or if you're in the McDonald's drive-thru and you ask the lady at the pay window, "Hey, how much is the order of the car behind me?" She gives you the total. And if you can afford it, pay it. You never know. I've worked at McDonald's and I've seen where one car doing that for the car behind them actually led to like a 6 or 7 car chain reaction. And it was an amazing feeling to know that one person changed the lives of the next 5 to 6 people behind her by just paying for the person right behind her, because in turn he paid for the car behind him, and it just kept going for like 6 or 7 cars. So don't tell me that you can't change the world, that you can't change your world, to be specific, because if you change your world and you slowly start turning the wheels of change in the world. I want you guys to, if you guys want to, you can post below your 1 a day random act of kindness. If you guys have noticed other things that have shocked you about what could possibly be causing us to raise a generation of very disrespectful children, comment below. Sorry guys, it's getting late and I had to be at work this morning, so I'm kind of tired. But just post below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see you guys in my next video. I love you guys. Feel free to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what kind of videos you guys want to see. I've thought about possibly posting a video of me doing a random act of kindness for somebody, but I don't want to do it for the attention, so I probably won't. I always try when I'm at McDonald's and I pay for somebody's food. I will tell you guys, I literally try to get out of the McDonald's drive-thru without the person ever like having any contact with them. Like, I don't want them looking at me because I don't want the attention for it. So I am the type of person that the minute I get my food, I'm gone. And a lot of times it doesn't end up working out because I like my fries with no salt on them. Perfect 10 if you guys want fresh fries from McDonald's. Ask them for no salt because they have to make them fresh every time if you ask for no salt. If you like salt on your fries, I personally don't. You can always grab salt packets later. But yeah, if you want fresh fries, ask them for no salt. You'll get them fresh every time, guaranteed. Because they have to make them fresh because they don't keep them that way. So a lot of times, like I was saying, I don't get out of the drive-thru without getting noticed, and I hate it. But, you know, they'll either say thank you or they'll wink or whatever the case may be, or they may just wave and drive on, and it's cool. I don't like really getting the recognition. But okay, guys, I'm getting into 17 minutes on this video, so I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.